Summer office wear can be a rather tricky topic, so summer office wear is what we're gonna be talking today. Cuckoo, my name is Anastasiia and welcome to my YouTube channel where we like all things chic, classy and smart, so if that is something you're interested in, you shall probably consider subscribing. Today we're gonna tackle down the challenge of looking cute and professional while working in the office during the summer, and obviously depending on your job you can have harsher or more laid-back dress code, but I'm not only gonna be styling the outfits today but also talking about tips, tricks, how to make outfit feel lighter, brighter, more summer appropriate while still being professional. So take it, adapt it, bring it to the world. We're gonna start with shoes because I believe you only need 2 pairs of shoes in order to be comfortable and look good all throughout the summer. And this part of the video is sponsored by no other than VIVAIA, and honestly, who is better for the job? As I've already mentioned, I believe you only need 2 pairs of shoes, something on the casual chic side and something on a smart casual side. These are square toe Margot V-cut flat. The toe side is not only flexible, but it is also made it so the sole absorbs the heat of you walking and cushions your feet. They have a customary VIVAIA padding on heel to prevent the blisters. The inside is all cushiony and like a heat absorber on the heel as well. The color is called yellow apricot quilt and there is a variety of different options. However, you know that I love me a cap toe shoe. I feel like it's a very simple detail that makes an outfit instantly more interesting to look at, which is especially important when it comes to office wear outfits because there really is not a lot of maneuvering you can do in terms of interest. All in all, it's an easy shoe that you do not need to think a lot about. And the second pair of shoes are the Jogger Re-Nylon Sneakerinas, also known as Yancy's. I must say I always knew they're comfortable, but I did not appreciate the Yancy ones until I went on a trip to China with my mom. They were the only walking shoe that I got with me and they did not let me down once. So yeah, now I feel like they're low-key underrated and I want to scream from the roofs about how amazing of a office shoe, working shoe, travel shoe the Yancy Sneakerinas are. They're basically a bowling shoe with a different texture, so they have nylon sides and then suede-like nose and back. They also come with 2 different ties, the regular slightly stretchy ties and then the lace one. You can choose either, but I kind of like wearing them both simultaneously. Now these come in 3 colors, in red, black and grayish white, and because I've picked lighter ballet flats, I feel like it only makes sense that I would go for a black Sneakerina, but you can kind of switch it up. So these are the only shoes I'm going to be using for styling today. I will link both of them below as well as my size for the reference. My feet is 24.5 centimeters and I'm 38.5 in VIVAIA. I also have a 10% off code for them. You are welcome. And with that, let's move on to the outfits. I want to start with the classic, the basic, the GOAT of the office wear, a button-down shirt and a pair of trousers. When stripped down of all of the additional layers of knitwear and coats, jackets, blazers, whatnot, it can still be a perfectly acceptable, perfectly nice summer outfit. But how can you make it nice and interesting? Through the colors. There is nothing wrong with whites and blacks. I, for one, am probably wearing them more than I should, but if you wanna lighten up the mood, nothing too bright, nothing too scandalous, very subtle, such as changing black trousers for gray trousers. These are one of my favorites from the Chic Ven on AliExpress, and then changing a white button-down shirt for something colorful. Lately I've been partial for either butter yellow or baby blue. This shirt is from Massimo Tutti, this one is from Karin, and I think that either one of them would look very nicely with the Margot Mary Janes. The second way you can go about lightening your black trouser base is picking your black trousers in a different material, such as linen. Just don't go for 100% linen. They all crease by the end of the day, and I don't think that 100% very thin linen is indeed appropriate for the office. However, something thicker with a blend of cotton or poplin is perfectly acceptable. These trousers from the Shu Shi Linen, they hold their shape nicely and it's only close by that you can tell that it's not exactly a suit material. White straight leg, and while I do like my white leg, I feel like this is a little bit easier to style. I also think that you can fully stay in a black color palette and use the silhouettes of your top to lighten up the mood. One of my favorite tops to wear are the waistcoat kind of tops, more specifically the ones with a higher round neckline and slightly hourglass silhouette. They look smart enough to wear in the office, but they're also easier on the eye than a classy waistcoat from a three-piece suit. They can feel like too much if that's not your style and that's not how you go about your day-to-day life. And then you can always throw a blazer on top if you have a meeting or need to look a little bit more professional. And all of it pairs really nicely with the Yancy Sneakerina. And the second option I wanted to give you is a little bit more conservative because the shoulders are closed, but it is also a little bit more girly. I have been really into this kind of 60s, I would say, tops. My grandmas used to wear something like that, and I thought that this is the chicest thing ever. This top is from the Vibes. It has slightly puffier sleeves and very noticeable hourglass silhouette, which, well, makes it more girly. Hence why I would probably pair it with the ballet flats. Staying on the topic of those 60s kind of tops, I wanted to show you another option. One is from Shu Shi Linen. It is a little bit more minimalistic, hence a little bit more modern. I would probably pair it with something like chocolate brown. These trousers are from Halara, by the way. I have a 15% off code for all of the full priced items on Halara website. I will leave it in the description below and on the screen right now. And then once again, to stay in this kind of coffee palette, I would pair it with the Mary Janes. And another variation on the button-down short that I find very much so underrated and rather very nice for summer in the office are the polos, more specifically knitted polos, because I feel like they elevate the garment from sporty smart to something smart casual, which is already office acceptable. I really like the ones from Uniqlo. I have it in a number of colors. Darker brown will pair nicely, more milky chocolate brown of the trousers, and once again, to lighten it all up even more, ballet flats. The last kind of bottom that I want to talk about will subsequently answer the question of whether you shall get a dress or a skirt for summer in the office. Now, while I love dresses with all my soul, for a simple reason that there is nothing easier than putting on a dress and walking out of your home like it's literally a no-brainer outfit. I'm kind of forced to admit that the skirt would be a better option if you're only getting one, simply because it gives you much more potential outfits, hence you will get much more wear out. And if I could only pick one skirt, I would go for a long A-line black linen mixed skirt. Once again, it's a thicker material, it's linen mixed with cotton, meaning it provides the comfort of linen, but it also doesn't crease as easier and it looks smarter. This skirt is not as long as to move into the purely evening wear. It is slightly, maybe 2 fingers above my ankles. I think it's not as stiff as a pencil skirt and gives you a little bit more movement and allows for more comfort, but it is also not as playful as the fuller styles of skirt and shorter lengths. So a really good option, I would say acceptable for the majority of not too strict dress codes. There is a variety of ways to do it, from the most basic one, like a white t-shirt. This one is from H&M. I would pair it with the Yancy Sneakerinas and like a nicer belt to balance it all out. I also really like wearing skirts like this with a slightly oversized button-up shorts. You can go for a plain one, but I think that a little stripy action makes it once again a little bit more fun, a little bit more summery. I would also wear the Yancys with it, or especially for the cases when you're having a little date night outing after the work, like cocktails with your girls or something like that, you can go for a satin top. This one from Halara is on a more casual side, which makes it office appropriate. I would wear it with the Margot Mary Jane. These were all I had to say on the matter of office summer outfits today. The links to both of the VIVAIA shoes as well as the 10% off code will be in the description below. If you like this video and if you want to show your support for me, I would very much so appreciate you subscribing to this channel and or leaving me a like. Check out my other social medias if you like the vibes, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one. So bye.